Whether you are flying, driving, going by train, or something else, a record number of people are expected to travel this Thanksgiving. AAA says about 73 million people will be on the roads. And if you are renting a car, Hertz expects Wednesday to be the busiest day to pick one up, so prepare for that. As for gas prices, they look familiar, about the same as this time last year at roughly $3.06 a gallon on average. To the airports now. TSA expects more than 17 million people to pass through screening into next week, including more than 3 million people just on Sunday alone. Best advice for it all? Let's find out. Joining me right now is Haley Berg, lead economist at Hopper. It's good to see you again. Thanks for coming in. So with all of that, those big numbers, what is it going to look like? What can travelers expect and should be prepared for in terms of how packed it is at airports and where it's going to be most packed and busiest in the coming days?
Listen, Thanksgiving week is one of the busiest travel weeks of the year because we all typically fly on the same days. Tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be the busiest by far for people hitting the skies, headed home for the holidays. We're expecting over 3 million seats to depart from U.S. airports. That means a lot of passengers in line at TSA and in line at the gates. In terms of where it's going to be busiest, Atlanta, Chicago, O'Hare, and Dallas will be 3 of the busiest. But all of the major U.S. airports are expecting to see crowds as millions of Americans are headed home for the holidays.
And Haley, are you seeing, especially when you talk about those busy airports that had to see those slowdowns, is there some residual tangles and slowdowns from the government shutdown still that people are going to be dealing with?
Thanksgiving week and Christmas week as well typically do see higher disruption rates, even when we're not coming off of a huge shortage in staffing and significant disruptions. We are expecting to continue to see some delay and cancellations into the holiday season. What I will say is that whether travelers experience a disruption or not, it is their number one concern headed into this vacation week. 70% of Americans say that they are very concerned about being impacted by disruptions over Thanksgiving or over Christmas vacations. So it's very top of mind for travelers.
So what is best advice other than, be kind for everyone, especially if you're traveling on Sunday, which is set to be the busiest day?
Sunday is the busiest day, and if you're traveling Sunday, definitely pack your patience, but there are some tactical things that you can do. First up, download your airline's app or sign up for proactive SMS or app notifications so that you're getting real-time information about anything from a disruption, a schedule change, or even just a gate change. When you have that app, it also helps you in the event of a significant delay or cancellation. Sometimes you can rebook yourself directly in the airline's app if you do need to change your plans at the last minute or if that flight is canceled. Get to the airport early. Typically, we say about 2 hours early for a domestic flight and 3 for an international. Check your airport's website. Oftentimes, they'll give you a red, yellow, green on how those TSA lines are looking. If it's red, try to get there at least 30 minutes earlier than you typically would. Give yourself a little buffer time so you're not rushing through security.
Advice I truly need to take to heart. What does it mean for this all mean for December travel, do you think? I mean, is it too late for people to book for that? I mean, are we looking at, when you're looking at prices and how booked things are, should people already be looking far into next year to be booking?
If you're thinking about last minute Christmas trips, and it would be last minute if you're booking your Christmas flights now, you do still have a little bit of time. The key date is Tuesday, December 2nd. So the Black Friday, Cyber Monday spending weekend has extended in recent years to include Travel Deal Tuesday. It's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, and it's when we see the widest range of discounts on travel in that post-Thanksgiving shopping period. So if you're thinking about a last-minute December trip, definitely plan to book on Travel Deal Tuesday. Airlines like Alaska Air and American Airlines have already said they're going to participate. There will be discounts on hotels, on the Hopper app or TripAdvisor. So it's a good day to book a last-minute trip.
Love it. Good advice. Haley, great to see you. Thank you so much. Sarah.
For me, last minute is like this week. I'm leaving this week, but that's just how I roll.
That's part of your charm.
You're not leaving for the holidays.
That's part of your charm, Sarah.
I'm not. In fact, I'm unpacking my patience because I'm going to be right here.
All right, this morning, not sure if you've heard, but it is a holiday week, which means holiday travel. And this could be the busiest week of the year for a system already bursting at the seams. Let's get to CNN aviation correspondent Pete Muntean live with the latest everything people need to know this Monday morning. Pete.
Well, the good news here, John, is that the ground stop that was in place earlier at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, huge hub for American Airlines, is now over. But the Federal Aviation Administration already warning of possible ground stops today in San Francisco, huge hub for United Airlines, also Newark, another huge hub for United Airlines. And there's some concern about wind in Boston and New York. Also, major thunderstorms, or at least isolated thunderstorms, a concern in Tennessee, in Memphis, also in Dallas. The big thing here, though, has been the concern about air traffic control delays and staffing shortages. We saw over the record 43-day government shutdown. That was a huge problem because, remember, air traffic controllers continued to work without pay during the government shutdown. It all really came to a head for the airlines, and they had to cancel thousands of flights. At Southwest Airlines, they canceled a few hundred flights due to the government shutdown. And I just got an exclusive tour of their operations center. It's called Network Operations Control in Dallas. It's where they monitor in real time about 800 airplanes nationwide. What's so interesting is that on the biggest days of the travel rush, they're going to transport about 500 to 600,000 people per day. That's like transporting the size and population of Minneapolis. I want you to listen now to Andrew Watterson, who's the COO, the Chief Operating Officer of Southwest Airlines. He says the airline is very much ready for what's in store for them and passengers. Listen.
All the elements are in place for very smooth Thanksgiving, good staffing, good weather, and so I think it will be smooth sailing for customers.
What do you think those should think who are still considering booking and maybe have been sort of waiting on the sidelines because they were unsure about how the government shutdown would pan out and its impact on air travel?
I'd say book your seats while they last because people are going back and looking to go home for Thanksgiving now that everything's been all clear with ATC.
What was so interesting to me in that interview with Southwest, they said people book up to tomorrow. That's when people are still looking at Thanksgiving trips. So if you have not booked, you should probably book now because the TSA says it'll screen about 17.8 million passengers in total between tomorrow and next Tuesday, December 2nd. That's averaging about 2.5 million people per day. The biggest day, the TSA says, will be the Sunday after Thanksgiving. That's the typical day of the high point for the year. But what's so amazing, John, is that in 2025, we've seen 8 of the top 10 busiest days in TSA history at airports. It seems that we'll probably get a 9th and a 10th when this weekend comes and goes. It's going to be another big one, John.
How do so many people have somewhere to go? I mean, where's everyone going all the time, right? I mean,
don't you want to skip time with the in-laws?
I don't know, but where do you need to be? I mean, it's like say, 2025, all of a sudden people need to go somewhere? I don't know.
I know.
Just settle down. Just enjoy where you are. Pete Muntean, thank you very much for
Serenity
this.
now.
Yeah, good luck with that this week. We'll be talking to you regularly throughout the week. Sarah.
Yeah.
Pete, every day on this show, we say, serenity now. We need it. All right. Thank you to you both.